Why most men fail at complimenting women and how you can stand out. Most men think they know how to compliment a woman. They throw out the same old lines. You're beautiful. You have gorgeous eyes. You're really fun to be around. They say it, expecting a reaction, expecting her to light up, to be impressed, to feel special. But instead, she smiles politely, she nods, she thanks them, and then she forgets them. Why? Because these compliments don't make her feel anything real. She's heard them before, 1,000 times, from 1,000 different guys. They slide off her like water off a duck's back, leaving no trace behind. But what if you could say something that doesn't just make her feel good in the moment, but makes her think about you long after you've gone? What if your words didn't just compliment her, but captivated her? What if instead of just making her feel flattered, you made her feel intrigued, alive, and drawn to you in a way she couldn't explain? That's where forbidden compliments come in. These aren't the usual hamsa. "You're so pretty" lines that every guy recycles. These are the words that touch something deeper, that trigger an emotional response, that make her crave your presence without even realizing why. And today, I'm going to show you 3 powerful forbidden compliments that, when used correctly, will make any woman feel a rush of emotions she can't ignore. These aren't just compliments. They're psychological triggers. Let's begin. The compliment that creates unstoppable attraction. Imagine this. You're talking to a woman. She's smiling, she's engaged, the conversation is flowing. Most men at this point would go for the obvious. You're really beautiful. You have a great smile, safe, predictable, completely forgettable. But what if, instead of telling her something she already knows, you said something that made her stop, think, and feel something real? What if, instead of making her appreciate your words, you made her obsess over them? That's the power of this forbidden compliment. "There's something about you that I can't quite figure out." The second you say this, something changes. Her body shifts. Her eyes narrow slightly. She tilts her head, intrigued. "What do you mean? What can't you figure out? Why does this man see something different in me?" And just like that, you're no longer just another guy giving her attention. You're a puzzle she wants to solve. Why this compliment works like magic. Most compliments tell a woman who she is. You're beautiful. You're funny. You have great energy. They're nice, but they don't challenge her. They don't make her think. They don't make her feel unique. But when you say, "There's something about you I can't quite figure out," you're doing 3 powerful things. 1. You create mystery. She now wants to know what you see in her. 2. You flip the script. Instead of proving yourself to her, she now wants to prove herself to you. 3. You make her emotionally invested. She'll start thinking about what makes her different in your eyes, and once she starts thinking about you, she won't stop. Most compliments end a conversation. This one, it opens a loop in her mind, one that keeps her coming back to you long after you've walked away. And that's how you make a woman obsessed. The compliment that makes her feel truly seen. Have you ever felt like people only see one version of you? The version that's expected. The one that fits into their idea of who you are. They see the smile, the confidence, the energy you bring to the room, but they don't see the deeper layers. They don't see the thoughts you keep to yourself, the quiet moments, the parts of you that only come out when you feel truly safe. Women feel this every single day. The world sees what's on the surface, her beauty, her charm, her social energy. But deep down, every woman wonders, does anyone really see me? Does anyone look past what's obvious? Is there someone who understands the side of me I don't always show? And that's why this compliment is so powerful. I feel like there's a side of you that most people never get to see. The second you say this, it's like flipping a switch. Her guard softens. Her eyes search yours, wondering what you mean. She pauses not because she doesn't know how to respond, but because for the first time in a long time, she feels noticed in a way she wasn't expecting. And in that moment, you're not just another guy making conversation. You're the person who sees beyond the surface. Why this compliment touches her heart. Most men compliment women the same way. They tell her she's beautiful. They tell her she's fun. But you recognize something deeper. 1. You make her feel like more than just her looks. 2. You separate yourself from every other man she's met. 3. You make her want to open up to show you the parts of herself that she usually keeps hidden. a woman feels that, when she feels safe enough to be fully herself around you, that's when real attraction begins. That's when she stops seeing you as just another guy and starts seeing you as someone she never wants to lose. I can't decide if you're trouble or exactly what I need, a man who loves with strength and certainty. A real man doesn't just throw words at a woman, hoping she will catch them. He doesn't fall at her feet the moment she smiles, doesn't hand over his heart before she's earned a place in it. He doesn't lose himself in a whirlwind of admiration, mistaking infatuation for something deeper. Instead, he stands firm, steady, unshaken. He looks at her not with the desperate eyes of a man who is begging to be chosen, but with the quiet confidence of someone who knows his worth. He sees her, truly sees her. Not just the beauty she shows the world, not just the charm that captivates so many, but the fire, the unpredictability, the depth that she may not even realize she holds. And so, instead of giving her empty praise, instead of trying to win her over with words she has heard 100 times before, he leans in just slightly, just enough to make her wonder what's coming next, and he lets the words slip out, smooth and slow, like a thought he almost wasn't going to say aloud. I can't decide if you're trouble or exactly what I need. And in that moment, everything changes. The air between them shifts. The light in her eyes flickers not just with amusement, but with curiosity, with the undeniable thrill of a challenge she never expected to feel. Because for the first time in a long time, she isn't sure where she stands. She is used to being admired, adored, put on a pedestal. She is used to men proving themselves to her, chasing after her, trying to convince her that they are worth her time. But this is different. Because this man, the one standing before her, looking at her with the kind of confidence that can't be faked, he isn't trying to win her over. He isn't offering himself up freely, hoping she'll accept him. No, he is deciding if she is the kind of woman who can handle a man like him. Deciding if she is not just exciting, but worth the space she might take in his life. And that is something she isn't used to feeling. Not just desired, but challenged. Not just admired, but seen for who she truly is. And in that moment, she feels alive. She feels like she wants to prove herself to him, to show him that she is not just fleeting excitement, but something deeper, something more. She feels a pull toward him that she can't quite explain. Not because he is chasing her, not because he is trying to win her, but because he is standing there, steady and strong, a man who does not need her, but is open to wanting her. And that difference is everything. Because a man like that, a man who knows his worth and chooses his heart carefully, that's the kind of man who doesn't just make a woman feel wanted. He makes her feel safe in his presence, excited in his mystery, and drawn to the kind of love that doesn't beg but waits for the right woman to step forward. And when a woman feels that, she doesn't just walk away. She leans in. She chews. Why these compliments stay in her mind long after you're gone. Most men give compliments hoping for an instant reaction, a smile, a thank you, a flicker of appreciation in her eyes. They think that if they say something nice, something flattering, she will be drawn to them, impressed by their words. But what they don't realize is that attraction doesn't work like that. Compliments are like whispers in the wind. Unless they touch something deeper, something real, they disappear the moment they are spoken. A simple, "You're beautiful" is nice, but it means nothing. She's heard it before countless times from countless men. It doesn't make her stop. It doesn't make her feel anything. It slides off her like water off a duck's back, forgotten before it even has a chance to leave an imprint. Most compliments are like that, fleeting, weightless, lacking the power to stay. But what if your words didn't just flatter her? What if they made her pause? What if, instead of making her appreciate your words in the moment, they made her obsess over them later? What if, hours after your conversation had ended, she found herself replaying your words in her mind, trying to figure out why they affected her so much? That is the power of a forbidden compliment, one that doesn't just tell her something about herself but makes her question it. When you say, "There's something about you I can't quite figure out," something shifts. Suddenly, you're not just another guy giving her attention. You're not just offering her a compliment she can brush off with a polite smile. You're introducing mystery into the conversation. You're making her wonder, What does he see? What makes me different in his eyes? The moment she starts thinking about you, the moment she starts analyzing what you meant, you've already won half the battle. Or imagine saying, I feel like there's a side of you that most people never get to see. For a brief second, she pauses. She wasn't expecting that. She's used to being admired for her beauty, her charm, her presence, but now you've said something deeper, something that suggests you see more than what's on the surface. And that makes her feel something. Every woman, no matter how confident or adored she may be, longs to be truly understood. And now, she is faced with a man who doesn't just see the version of her that the world sees, but something beyond that. Something she isn't even sure she fully understands about herself. And then there's the most dangerous of them all. I can't decide if you're trouble or exactly what I need. This isn't just a compliment. It's an invitation into a game she doesn't want to stop playing. Now, she's not just flattered, she's intrigued. She's suddenly wondering where she stands with you. She's used to being the one men fall for, the one who holds the power in the dynamic of attraction. But now, she's off balance. Now she's thinking, what does he mean? Does he see me as a challenge? Does he think I'm dangerous? And the moment she starts wondering whether you are sure about her, that's when she starts wanting you even more. These compliments work because they don't give her certainty. They don't tell her exactly what she wants to hear. Instead, they make her think, they make her feel, they make her chase. Most compliments end a conversation. These open a loop in her mind that keeps her thinking about you long after you've walked away. And that's the secret. The moment she starts thinking about you when you're not there, the moment your words echo in her thoughts, making her wonder, making her curious, making her miss your presence, that's when attraction turns into something much more powerful. That's when she starts comparing every other man to you. That's when she realizes, without even meaning to, that she doesn't want to let this feeling slip away. Because you weren't like the rest. You didn't just say what every other man says. You saw her, really saw her, and left just enough mystery for her to want more. And that is how you make a woman obsessed.